warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Today, it's week 3. A very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Carolina Panthers and the Minnesota Vikings. 2 weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. First carry now for Kareem Hunt. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
Looking to throw. Dugan. He's got his tight end. It's Tommy Tremble. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position. Everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner. And with good timing, you get a completion as we just saw there.
He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Back to throw. Dugan. He's going to air one out. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give him credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. That's taken at around the 40. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Vikings will be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10.
Hey, 72. Hey, 66. 72.
On 1st down, Brady. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. Touchdown! Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described...
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. It's caught inside the 5. And he gets in. Well, no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And this will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And these guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
On 3rd down, Dugan. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. Now, I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
A 3-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Dugan. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. It'll go as a loss of 3 on the sack, and it brings up 3rd down.
And every game we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get there first.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Vikings are going to take over here up near the 40. 3rd and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him, and what I mean by that is what you said, 3rd and long. Got to push it downfield to try and pick up the 1st down. Defensive backs live for this situation, and they took advantage of the young man right there.
That's caught inside the 20. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Into the red zone, it's Brady. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
Brady again here on 2nd and 10. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by J.C. Horn. And the Panthers will take over here at their own 14-yard line.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away and could cost them a ball game?
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. That good for 22 and a 1st down.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case. Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Dugan. And that is incomplete.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And it will be Vikings ball 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the play did on the last one.
Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll drop to throw. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. On the move past the 40. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
We know play callers can be very creative in this game today, but sometimes when they've got receivers with speed like this, they don't need to design incredibly complex calls. Sometimes it's just get the ball in his hands and let him do his thing. In a sense, less can become more, and it was right there.
Another first down as they call his number again. He's got 15 yards here.
First and goal.
Again, it's Brady. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
Oh, that's good decision-making right there. Understood down and distance. Knew it wasn't 3rd down, and he still had another opportunity to earn the 1st down. Good job throwing it away and avoiding an interception.
They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
He was brought down at the 4-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup.
One quarter down, 8-0 the score.
That's the end of the first quarter with the score Vikings.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Brady going to throw. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off by J.C. Horn. And the Panthers are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line.
Absolutely a golden opportunity missed there to add to their lead and really cap off an impressive drive because they've got the advantage and plenty of time to add to it. But on the flip side, plenty of time for an opposing comeback as well. So when you have the chance to distance yourself from opposition so early, partner, you know you don't want to let it slip away.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9.
2nd and 9 now. Looking for Marshall, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Roquan Smith. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
A tough adjustment to the NFL throughout his rookie season, and his problem with turnovers is only exacerbated by his early showing today. That's a couple for him here in this first half, and he's cleared the double-digit mark for the entire season.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Partner, this is almost an unwinnable spot for a defense. They have to come right out for a 1st and goal trying to stop them. But let me hold on a second. Let me take that back real quick.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is up to 15 now. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone.
The Panthers take over 1st and 10 at their own 11-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the 4th quarter, but you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Andrew Booth picks it off. And the Vikings are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line.
Well, it certainly felt like he was going to challenge this defense no matter what, and he stepped up and tried to throw it to the outermost edge of the zone coverage, and they were more than ready for him. The problem now is if they are limited in what they're doing throwing the football, they got to figure out how to move it without being able to throw it to the outside and throw it downfield.
That throw by Brady incomplete.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10.
No, 66. Alert! Grip. Hey, check it.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. He's going to look deep for more. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Vikings. We keep waiting year after year to see signs of Tom Brady's arm strength deteriorating, but his message there, keep waiting.
And I'm telling you, nothing will let him a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
And that throw, pretty impressive, and even 61 yards through the air. Now this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And not a very good return at all, as he won't even get this back to the 15.
At their own 13-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here, because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer, because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball. That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do, because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
They're going to try and throw. Flushed out right. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. Throwing on first down is Brady. He's going to get this one down to Cook. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Throwing again on second down. Brady eluding the pressure right. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And the Vikings are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Tom Brady, his 3rd touchdown pass of this first half. And the Vikings continue to pull away here in this. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it.
Well, I have to admit, I'm scratching my head a little bit here trying to make sense of what I just saw. Number one, huge lead. Just kick the extra point and be done with it. Number two, if you are going to go for 2, just line up and go for it from the 2-yard line. Why make it so difficult? That's a long way to go to try and pick up some points.
And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
At their own 12-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
As this offense gets ready here for this drive, Charles, you still wonder about that prior drive. Went for it on 4th down in their own territory, didn't get it, and then that led to a touchdown on the other side.
And I don't mind the aggressiveness. In fact, I'm usually a huge fan of it. But I just want teams to always weigh risk and reward. To me, too early in this game because the reward just wasn't big enough to go for it there in case they failed. Now the pressure back on their offense to pick themselves up and negate the touchdown that was just given up.
A loss of 6 yards. And it's third down.
To throw on 3rd down, Dugan. Over the middle, complete into the hands of Trimble. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Escaping the pressure right. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
Partner, have you ever heard the story of Icarus in mythology? That's the guy who flew too close to the sun and had his wings melted. That was our guy right there. Keeps pressing it and pressing it. Finally, on that throw, he paid the price with that turnover.
72. Package.
So after the INT, it's Brady. And Brady going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by J.C. Horn. And the Panthers are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ball game.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Throwing on 1st down, Dugan. There's Trimble, the tight end. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room.
Shadow.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On play action, now Brady. He finds his man, complete. That's Shaw. Now he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. That one goes for 30 yards.
I would say just add that one to the total of big plays he's already made here in the first month of the year. You've got to think the front office and the coaching staff have got to be excited about what they've seen so far and really excited about what they expect to see down the road.
So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
And this will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35.
At their own 37-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team.
He's got a man complete. Touchdown, Vikings. The 4th touchdown pass in the game for Tom Brady. And the Vikings just continue to roll. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
On 2nd down, right back to Hunt. And good yardage as he gets this one up to about the 23.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Roquan Smith. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
Well, all I can do up here is just shake my head. I mean, 6 interceptions. I cannot imagine what he's thinking between the ears right now.
Well, just think of how it is for his teammates, because after the first few, you know they're going over to him, hey, we'll get them next time. Now they're probably a little bit frustrated. And if you're a receiver, you're thinking to yourself, any ball that's in the air, you become receiver and defensive back. You've got to go compete for the ball so that you don't get another one picked off.
Cook is in. Touchdown, Minnesota. So this has been a pretty strong start to the year for him on the ground, CD. It's just week 3. That's already 5 rushing touchdowns.
And you know he's got big grins on their faces besides the rest of the team. The strength and conditioning program, because he was awfully dedicated to what they put in front of him to get ready for this year. Got himself into terrific shape, and he's dominated here early on.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now, or win that. And oh, he coughed it up, and the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. And a little careless there, Charles, on that carry.
And it's not just having 2 hands on the ball. It's tucking it away. It's using your body to keep people shielded off. There's so many different things into taking care of it and having ball security. In that case, though, we didn't see it happen.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Brady. Going for the deep ball. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. 5 touchdown passes now for Tom Brady. And the Vikings get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. 56 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Now that's how you start to get back in the good graces of your head coach. Remember, he fumbled on the last possession. How about the faith they showed him, giving him the ball again, and he repaid them, picking up a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They run again with Hunt. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. On 3rd down, here's Hunt. And he is going to lose yardage here. Defensively, they rally the troops to force 4th down after that 7-yard pickup back on 1st.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And it'll be a turnover on downs. First down, here's the run with Cook. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. That good for 19 and a first down. They'll run with Cook. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Dalvin Cook with his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Vikings will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Extra point attempt to follow here. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
The Panthers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
Well, the disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook, but bottom line is don't quit competing.
To throw on second down, Dugan. And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time has run out on this third quarter of play. This offense so far on third down, they've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be third and forever.
Swings this out for Hunt.
And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? Third down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip it.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. And the Panthers turned away on 4th down. And boy, that means this next drive is going to start at the 3-yard line.
Cook will take this into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
The Panthers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the 4th quarter. Should rely more on the passing attack?
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
They'll wind up losing 11 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. They tried to run the counter, just that the defense wasn't fooled.
And when they're not fooled, you see the end result, because what you're doing there, you mentioned the counter. You're using your offensive linemen sometimes to pull or move to influence the defensive front to go in that direction and create the space back in the other side and block it appropriately. But you're exactly right. Didn't move him, sat there waiting for him and made the play.
They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And the Panthers turned away on 4th down. And that will force a turnover on downs. Left side, Cook. And he is going to lose yardage here. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for second down.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. 55 rushing yards on the ground for him now with 4 touchdown runs tacked on. And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got it first and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Extra point attempt to come here. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
Vikings 73, Panthers nothing.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
The Panthers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
It's been a tough go for them. It's still without any points here in the fourth quarter. And a big deficit, Charles, but they moved the football on some drives. They just haven't had any points.
Yeah, and I know in their minds they're thinking the game plan has actually been working. We just haven't scored points. Well, isn't that the bottom line, partner? To put points on the board? So if you're moving it and you're not scoring, is it really working? Right now, they've got nothing left to lose. They might as well go for broke.
On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Minnesota, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for Carolina, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Tennessee Titans.